Hello everyone and welcome back to another anatomy video. This is Dr. Aiyan from the Veterinary Anatomy channel. In this video we will talk about the abdominal muscles in the dog. So let's get started. Guys, as you can see here, we remove the skin, we clean the area by removing the external fascia, or most of the external fascia, the superficial fascia actually, because part of the external fascia is also found between the muscles. So what we can see here, the abdominal muscles, and this is our topic for today's video. So to be able to see all of them, like I will move the pectoral muscle. So we described it previously, the deep pectoral muscle down, as you can see here. And we will start with the external oblique abdominal muscle. The external oblique abdominal muscle starts or originates from the lateral surface of the ribs, as you can see here, all the way. So all of this is external oblique abdominal muscle. So from the lateral surface of the ribs, and at the same time, it also originates from the thoracolumbar fascia, and moves all the way, inserts to the linea alba, of course. Here, for your information, we cut the aponeurosis of these muscles. We cut the aponeurosis of the external oblique abdominal muscle. Normally, something like this, so is located here as aponeurosis of the muscle inserting to the linea alba. So the external oblique abdominal muscle inserts to the linea alba. At the same time here, caudally, it inserts also to the pelvis. Where exactly to the pelvis? To the iliopubic eminence. Iliopubic eminence is this projection here between the ilium and pubic bone. Iliopubic eminence. So it inserts all the way down there. Of course, on the other side, we have another one to the other iliopubic eminence there. This was the external oblique abdominal muscle. We cut the aponeurosis and dissected the muscle in the way that we can put it upward like this. Under the external oblique abdominal muscle, we can find here the internal oblique abdominal muscle. The internal oblique abdominal muscle. The internal oblique abdominal muscle originates mainly but not only from the coxal tuberosity, this is here the iliac crest, guys, for your information. So from the coxal tuberosity, from this area of the ilium bone, and it originates also from the thoracolumbar fascia. So this is here the thoracolumbar fascia, as you can see. The internal oblique abdominal muscle inserts like other abdominal muscles to the linea alba. Here we cut also the aponeurosis of this muscle, It should be like a sheet like this, moving all the way to the linea alba. So we cut it for your information, So insertion to the linea alba, and at the same time, if you follow the muscle here, you will find it inserting to the last costal, to the costal arch, last rib, to the costal arch. This is the insertion of the internal oblique abdominal muscle. Okay, so origin, coxal tuberosity, thoracolumbar fascia, insertion, linea alba, and the costal arch. Another part of this muscle, just before I forget, originates also from the inguinal ligament, there. Okay? If we dissect this muscle and move it to the side, if you allow me, I will cut part of this muscle here so that we can really see the muscle located just below it. I just cut the muscle here. Now we can see the next layer, which is the transverse abdominis muscle. Here. The transverse abdominal muscle is characterized and easy to find and easy to identify by these white lines. These white lines are actually the ventral branches of the spinal nerves coming from the spinal cord there. So this is the transverse abdominis. Transverse abdominis originates from the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebrae. I can't palpate them there. Actually, it's fine. So from the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebra, moves all the way down, inserts to the linea alba. In this case, we keep the aponeurosis of this muscle. Okay, we keep the aponeurosis of this muscle to the linea alba, and it also attached to the last rib or to the costal arch. So the origin in this case of the transverse abdominis will be the transverse process of the lumbar vertebra and the costal arch, insertion to the linea alba. Transverse abdominis. So we talked about 3 of these muscles. Let's put them in place again. We talked about the external oblique abdominal muscle, internal oblique abdominal muscle, and the transverse abdominis muscle. And now we have the last abdominal muscle we would like to go through. It is the rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis, or in some books they name it as the straight muscle of the abdomen. The rectus abdominis originates from the sternum. Here we can see the tendon of it, guys. Let me just put my forceps under it, yeah? This is the tendon of the rectus abdominis. So it originates from the ribs, from the sternum, sorry. So from the sternum, and also from the lateral distal parts of the ribs. Moves all the way backward in straight direction, and inserts to the pecten of pubis. To the pecten of pubis, that part there, that projection there. Okay? Inserts to the pecten of pubis. This was the straight muscle of the abdomen, or rectus abdominis. If you look at the rectus abdominis, here we can see, I hope it's clear for you, these white lines. Can you see these white lines here? Here, there. This is what's called the intersection tendinium. Why we have these lines is just because the muscle is very long and it's somehow all the time under contraction. That means, of course, during the contraction of the muscle, guys, the blood vessels, the veins and arteries inside the muscle will be braced in the way that, because it's contracted, the muscle is contracted. So to avoid blocking the blood supply to the muscle, we have this what's called the intersection tendinea, where we will find the blood vessels moving through here and giving branches to the muscle forward and backward. So in this case, even if the muscle is contracted, these blood vessels moving inside this connective tissue here and there are free and not pressed. Okay? And this is, of course, in human, yeah, will give us like this six-pack, you know, shape of the rectus abdominis muscle. The rectus abdominis, we talked about the origin and insertion. It also insert to the linea alba. On the other side, we have another rectus abdominis, of course, guys, yeah. Here, in another video, we explain what's called the rectus sheath, where the aponeurosis of other abdominal muscles moving above or under the rectus abdominis. Please go find that video and try to learn the rectus sheath there. It's very specific here in the dog comparing to other animal. The rectus sheath. So in this case, we describe the abdominal muscles quickly again. The superficial located one is the external oblique abdominal muscle. So at the beginning of the video, I said we remove the skin, we remove the superficial fascia, and I forgot to tell you that we removed also the cutaneous muscle. Yeah, of course. Here under the skin, we have a very developed, actually, cutaneous muscle called the cutaneous muscle of the trunk, or cutaneous trunci. So we also remove it in this sample here. So after that, we can see the external oblique abdominal muscle. You have to dissect the muscle, move it to the side. You will find the internal oblique abdominal muscle. Origin insertion is already described. You have to dissect the muscle, move it to the side. You have the transverse abdominis there. And finally, here we have the straight muscle of the abdomen, or the rectus abdominis. Origin insertion is already said. Here, you can, if you follow the tendon of the rectus abdominis, guys, you will find it continued with the tendon of this muscle here. I will not tell you the name of this muscle because this will be our question for this video. So I need you to write the name of this muscle here. This is question number 1. Question number 2 will be, tell me the name of this muscle here. This muscle, yeah? Not that one. Only this muscle here. This is question number 2. And the last question, yeah, I just see it in front of my eyes. I need you to write the name of this structure here. This is question number 3. It's not in the view, huh? This muscle is in the view. So here, this structure, just move the dog a little bit this way here so you can find this structure. This is question number 3. Which we found just under the forelimb. After removing the forelimb, we kept it here. So what is the name of this structure, which you can find here next to the axillary artery, axillary vein, and the nerves of the brachial plexus? So I need you to write the name of this structure. This is question number 3. So write your questions, your answers down. I will try to look at them and share, please, this video with your friends who are interested, of course, in veterinary anatomy. And in the next video, we will dissect something very, very special. So see you soon. Bye-bye for now.